BP supposedly making its final preparations at this hour to permanently seal its leaking oil well in the Gulf of Mexico. That apparently is not the only thing the company is trying to seal off. Our fourth story, BP now seeking to cap its liability by preparing to offer Gulf Coast residents lump sum payments in return for waiving the right to sue. A new estimate revealing that nearly 5 million barrels of oil have gushed into the water so far at rates of up to 62,000 barrels a day before BP was able to put the capping stack on. This afternoon, BP to have begun a test that was a precursor to the so-called static kill procedure, but BP releasing a statement tonight saying that as engineers prepared to start the injectivity test, they discovered what BP is calling a small hydraulic leak in the capping stack's hydraulic control system. BP says the test and the static kill will wait until the leak is fixed, possibly by tomorrow. But even before BP's engineers have merely tried to pump mud and cement down the throat of the busted well, something it has tried and failed to do in similar fashion before, something it cannot now even start, the company is acting as if it has already succeeded. BP officials today saying they are not sure they will even use the relief wells that they have been digging for months now to permanently plug the ruptured oil well in the Gulf of Mexico, what is long thought to be the best, most surefire method of stopping the leak for good. A BP spokesman saying, quote, precisely what the relief wells will do remains to be seen. The long-term effects of dangerous chemical dispersants also remaining to be seen. Congressional investigators revealing that the Coast Guard routinely approved BP's use of thousands upon thousands of gallons of the dispersant Corexit, despite a federal directive that it be used sparingly. With the Obama administration under fire for allowing the use of the dispersant, the EPA today said that a new study shows dispersants are no more toxic than is oil, which would seem merely to confirm the dispersant is indeed highly toxic. Best then for BP to shield itself from liability before the full effects of the dispersant, the oil, the economic fallout, and everything else is truly known. Something else it is doing with the approval of the Obama administration. The Guardian newspaper reporting that when Kenneth Feinberg takes over this month as administrator of the escrow funds set up by the White House, for the first time, claimants will be offered a one-time sum based on their future lost earnings in return for an agreement not to sue BP. Claimants will also be able to receive an emergency payout to cover lost income for up to 6 months without waiving that right to sue. For more on that, let's call in George Barasich, president of the United Commercial Fishermen's Association, himself a third-generation shrimp fisherman from St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana. Thanks for your time tonight, sir.
Thank you for having me, sir.
This leak's already in its 4th month. The emergency payment would only cover 6 months' worth of expenses. A lawsuit against BP could take years. Is it going to be hard? Might it be hard for your fishermen to resist the lump sum payment if it's high enough?
If it's high enough, that's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
If they do dangle a carrot, if the carrot's big enough, a lot of people are going to have to take it. If the carrot's even minimal, some people are going to be forced to take it because a lot of us still have a lot of loans from Katrina and then Gustav. You know, the timing of this was terrible. You know, had he come when, you know, the industry was doing well, we'd be able to wait longer, you know, to take a better deal, per se.
Can you estimate how many of your members couldn't wait? How many of them have already gone out of business?
Oh, there's a bunch of them that are just piled up. If it wouldn't be for this work that, you know, a lot of people doing for BP, in St. Bernard we did it a little different. We had a rotation system where most of the fishermen were able to work if they wanted to work. Unfortunately, I wanted the shrimp. I was one of the last ones. 3 days ago was the first time in 32 years that I actually worked for somebody else. And it was like, I think that when I buried my mom and dad, it was the only other the saddest times, just as that. It was like somebody died. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying, but it was like I lost something, you know?
Yep, I know what you mean, but a question about BP. Have they been straight with you and your members? Do you feel like you can trust them to any degree?
In some issues, once we forced them, you know, once our attorneys forced them to do certain things, you know, and I met with Feinberg himself, and he promised this and promised that. And what I don't like is we had numerous town hall meetings, and there was an agreement, there was a statement saying that any work you do to help BP clean up their mess, it wasn't ours, you know, would not come out of any settlement. Man, the day after they capped it or partially capped it, they hit the TV saying, well, any work you do is going to come out of the settlement. That's not boding too well right now. It's really not.
So, in other words, I hadn't heard this before. In other words, if you've done work for BP, that will be subtracted from the amount that BP is liable to pay you?
That's what you understand now. And when we started working for them, you know, and it's on record, we've got them taped saying that no, they would not come out because you're helping us clean our mess.
Right. And then it's like, well, the mess is gone now. What mess were we talking about?
That's a misconception, too. The mess is not gone. It's just stopped. You know?
Are you surprised at the offers that are going to come here with the stamp of government approval that they'll be offered as part of the escrow fund administered by Kenneth Feinberg, the man you just mentioned? Does it surprise you that this has got an official stamp to it?
Well, according to what Mr. Feinberg said, the only reason I gave him the okay to violate, when I went there, because I was ready to take him, pack his stuff, and go home, is that he wasn't government and he wasn't BP. It was business to business, okay? So if you're going to give me a fair deal, but understand, you got to take a lot of variables into effect. Mr. Feinberg is supposed to meet with us upcoming, and if he listens to us and understands our variables, understands the various conditions of our industry, the states that it's in, and incorporates that into his estimates and makes a person a fair offer, a lot of people may take it, but we're not to that point yet.
As you said, this isn't finished, it's just capped. The dispersants are masking how much oil there really still is in the Gulf. How is the fishing industry looking? What is the outlook for you and your members, short-term, long-term?
As far as the oysters are concerned, I'm scared to death because that's what I do. I have a lot of oyster farms, but also shrimp. Right now, the shrimp season is open. They reopened it. There's areas where I couldn't go catch shrimp right now, but I don't even have a market for it. I can't go out and catch it because my dealer don't want it, and his processor doesn't want it. Not for any price right now. So when they do, when the season does open across the state, there's more areas open, I'm going to have to go to make some money, but then it's going to be at a depressed price again. So unless they give me free fuel or give me a subsidy on my price, we don't know what's going to happen. You can't blame that processor. He can't put millions up and then maybe can't sell it. It's a convoluted situation. A lot of people don't understand.
Mr. Barisic, one last question. Tell me about your T-shirt.
Oh, that's what I'm doing to make a living. After Katrina, I designed one. That's what. No, actually, it's a fundraiser for United Commercial Fishermen's Association. If you want something, give me a call. We need to sell them bad.
Bringing oil to American shores like never before. Brilliant. George Barisic.
I'd show you the back, but I can't turn around. All right, you can see the back, too.
The president of the United Commercial Fishermen's Association, George Barisic. Thank you again, sir.
Take care.